The first snowflake landed on her bare wrist like a warning. She watched it melt. Then another came, and another, until the sky itself seemed to turn against her. The wagon tracks ahead grew faint, swallowed by white. She tried to shout, but her throat was raw from crying all night. The sound that came out was thin and useless. They did not turn back. She stood alone at the edge of the timberline, wrapped in a shawl too thin for mercy, her boots soaked, her fingers already stiff. Only an hour earlier, she had been part of something. A camp, a promise, a future spoken around a fire. Then she had become a burden. They said she slowed them down. Said winter would take them all if they waited. Said she would not last the mountain pass anyway, not after the fever, not after the fall from the wagon. They left her a small sack of flour, a cracked tin cup, and their silence. The wind rose. She tried to walk, but her legs buckled. Pain shot up her side where the wheel had struck her days before. She collapsed against a pine, bark scraping her cheek, snow gathering in her hair. She thought of lying down. That was when she heard the axe. Thud, thud, slow, steady, not rushed, not afraid of the cold. She lifted her head. Between the trees stood a man taller than most, broad-shouldered, swinging an axe like it was part of him. Each strike sent chips flying, steam rising from his breath. He wore no coat, just thick wool and leather, his beard rimmed with frost, his eyes focused and distant. A lumberjack. She tried to speak. Nothing came. The axe stopped. The man turned his head, listening, not with his ears alone but with something deeper. He scanned the trees, then saw her crumpled at the base of the pine. For a long moment, he did not move. Then he set the axe down and walked toward her, steps careful, quiet. "You're freezing," he said, voice low, unused to words. She nodded weakly. Her lips would not form anything else. He crouched, studying her the way one studies weather damage or a wounded animal. Not cruel, practical. He pressed 2 fingers to her wrist. "Still warm enough," he said. "Not for long." He shrugged out of his heavy coat and wrapped it around her shoulders without asking. The weight of it nearly made her cry. He lifted her with surprising gentleness, as if she might break, and turned back toward the trees. "Don't sleep," he said. "Talk if you can." She managed a whisper. "They left." He grunted, not surprised. "People do." His cabin stood deeper in the woods, built thick and low, smoke already curling from the chimney. Inside, it was dark but warm, the fire banked and ready. He laid her near it, propped her up, and set water to heat. She faded in and out, waking to sounds. Boots on wood, fire crackling, a cup pressed to her lips. "Drink," he said. It burned going down, but warmth followed. She slept then, not the dangerous kind, the kind that lets you wake. When she opened her eyes again, daylight filtered through a small window. Her clothes were drying near the fire. Her side throbbed, but the pain was clean now, wrapped and tended. The man sat at the table, carving something from a block of pine. "You're alive," he said, not looking up. "That's good." She swallowed. "Why?" she asked. "Why help me?" He paused, knife still. Didn't see anyone else lining up. She learned his name was Eli, though he rarely used it. He cut timber for distant towns, hauling it down in spring when the thaw came. He lived alone because it was easier, because trees did not lie, and winters did not pretend to be kind. She stayed because she could not leave. Her fever broke, her strength crept back. She helped where she could, sweeping, stirring stew, mending clothes with hands that still shook. Eli never rushed her, never hovered. He spoke little, but when he did, it mattered. One night, a storm howled so loud the cabin groaned. She woke in fear, certain the roof would tear away. Eli was already up, reinforcing beams, calm as stone. "They'll hold," he said. "They?" she asked. He tapped the wall. "Built this place with my father. Winter tried before, didn't win." She looked at him then, really looked. A man shaped by labor and loss. Hands scarred, eyes steady. When spring hinted at return, she spoke the question she'd been holding. "I should go," she said. "When the snow breaks." Eli nodded once. "If you want. And if I don't." He met her gaze. "Then you stay. No bargain, no claim, just truth." The wagon train never came back. But travelers passed through months later and spoke of a cabin in the pines. Of smoke in winter. Of a woman who had been left to freeze and did not. Of a silent lumberjack who swung an axe all day and guarded a life all night. They said fate had changed her path. But she knew better. Someone had simply stopped and refused to let the cold decide.